It love. Mm. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday to everybody, near and far. Um, do you find it? That one. This. It? That one. This. Okay, it's muted. Uh, you just don't enter. Hello, everybody. Um, you know, you know how it is in this place. Sometimes you are on, and hi, Bashara. Hi, Shirley. Happy Friday, right? Happy Friday. Hi, Chantel. I have been applying for schools but no offer it. Girl, don't give up. Don't worry about it. Let me tell you, this time, hi, Ter. Hey, girl. Mwah. It's been a while. Let me tell you, Chantel, we are, UAE has become a place where um, the teaching fraternity or the educational field is on demand, that these schools get hundreds of applicants, monthly. So the competition is stiff, as we would say. Um, the competition is really, it's strong. It's a very competitive field. So you might actually realize that finding a job is way more than what you actually expect. So thank you, Tarina. So you will see yourself, sending out applications, hundreds of applications, maybe, or maybe not so much, and it's taking you a while to actually get call or get a job. But don't give up, as I've always been saying, and I'm sure many other persons that have their channel have been saying that you just don't give up, because at the end of the day, trust me, Chantel, you if you're supposed to get a job, you will. And it's not even a matter of supposed to, but when the time is right, a school will contact you. You know, when just keep on applying and it will happen. You just have to have that faith, and just, if you're working somewhere, just keep working, keep building on your experience, continue to do your research, and just know that the jobs are here, and there's a season, and it's just know that there's been a lot of, no, I don't need it, I'm fine, I'll use the, sorry about that. But when it comes on to there is a season like now when there's a lot of recruiting going on for August. However, teachers come right through the year, so you just never know when you will be notified in regards to a job. Um, just keep on applying, research, send out your applications. Do try the MOE schools, the private schools, all of them, and you will eventually hear something. Don't worry about it. Trust me. And as I always also say that don't just do UAE, try other Gulf countries, because trust me, they pay just as well and their benefits are pretty much the same. Um, Kuwait dollar dinar is rather strong, one of the strongest currencies, and the money they pretty much sometimes, depending on your experience, you probably even get more money than what you get over here. But just don't, just keep trying, love. Hi, Antoinette. I'm happy. Glad you're here also. I know sometimes because I don't do the advertisements or put it out, many persons actually don't catch my impromptu lives. But thanks for the engagement and we'll continue to apply. Yes, man, don't give up. Trust me. It's just because I remember I said, even us over here, when if I am looking a job right now, say for example, I want to go to a new school. Believe me when I say it's practically the same scenario where I would find myself um, sending out lots of applications and wondering what is happening. Why am I not hearing from anybody? Or I might hear from one and two schools. And you have that feeling of disappointment, but you just have to trust the process. It is long and daunting, but it will happen when it is the time, how much your experience needed to apply for MOE. Well, actually, all of the schools here, the minimum requirement experience is 2 years. And you do have schools that will take newly qualified teachers. So, but they do ask for the 2 year experience. However, you just have to try your luck. If you're newly qualified, you can try. If they're desperate, because at the end of the day, it's just like any other companies. They put their demands out there, the positions that they have available, and the schools and persons apply. They get lots and lots of applications. They go through them just the same. They pick who they, think is, they select who they think is the right candidate. And, that's another list, short listed, as they always say. Then they do those interviews. Then they do short listing again. And, the pile goes down. So it's just a matter of, if you're not, if you don't have an experience, just get it while you are in your home country and hope for the best. But there's nothing wrong with applying for if you're a newly qualified person. But definitely the chances for experience will be better. Um, in regards to, I put up the headline about classroom, and but basically when you're on a live, anything goes. So you can basically ask me any questions. I will definitely answer them. But there are persons who have always been asking me, about different things. Like the last, someone asked me the other day about bills. No, I remember now there are a variety of schools in UAE. We have the private schools, and you have private schools, and you have international schools. They all have different names, and literally a lot of them do have different standards or different criterias, or their offers are different. So there is not even anything that is set in stone. There isn't. You have the private schools, you have international schools, you have charter schools, you have government schools, you have semi-charter schools, and they are all different, and it based on who are the owners of the school. So based on who owns the school, the management system, etc., it will determine what they can afford. Some schools can afford to put you up in accommodation with all utilities paid. Other schools can only afford to maybe give you a stipend or an accommodation allowance, but you have to go and, find your own place to live. You might also have to, definitely, if you find your own place to live, you will have to pay your bills, you know. And some schools, they'll put you up in an accommodation and the bill is on you. And it depends on where the school is also located. So there is, there's a variety. There is nothing that is set in stone. It's just based on the school and what they have to give their employees. All right. Um, and but one thing, it doesn't matter which school that you go to, and whether your school gives you accommodation or pay your bill, you will have a bill to pay, and that is your Wi-Fi bill. Everybody has to take out their own internet, cable, Wi-Fi, phone, etc. So that is a common monthly expense. All right. Um, and that can run anywhere between, literally, it just depends on the package that you take out from the company. You have basic package, and now with these, it comes with all of it is it's a package. And it happens in some country like Jamaica. It's the same. Our company, communication company, it offers landline, cable, and internet. And it's the same thing for over here. It offers you your cell, your landline, your internet, and also your cable. So, and each of them is a different. Your telephone bill is totally different from what you pay for your landline service, which is the cable, the landline, and the internet. So, and as I said, it's based on the package that you take out from the company that will determine how much you pay per month. All right. Um, Now, if I should go into the classroom, um, as you guys know, I've said it before, I am an elementary teacher, and since I've been here, I have only taught grade 2 and 3. Yeah, yeah, 8 years teaching. Yeah, basically only grade 2 and 3. Yeah. Uh-huh. And so I'm dealing with the younger set of children. And in dealing with the younger set of children, your classroom is, it's expected to have a certain look. Now, mind you, remember, our students are EALs or ESL, as some people would call it, in our ELAs, English language learner, etc. And so, they are learning the language because their mother tongue is Arabic. Therefore, things have to be in a way where it is, meaningful to them. No, gone are the days. I remember when I first came here, um, our classroom was print rich, definitely. We go on Twinkle and we print every banner, still do print the banners and, everything that you can think of, your timetable, your numbers, your days of the week, months of the year, all of those things. And we still do, and we put them in the classroom. Now, in regards to charts or, visuals, now they're moving away from the printing, and telling us that we actually need to start making anchor charts. So we're going back to basics now, to be honest with you. Uh, Not every school is doing that though, but my school have indicated that they want us to start making or putting up anchor charts in our classrooms now. So, anchor charts, if you go on Pinterest, you will see a lot in it's handmade charts where you actually sit, and if you're doing something on nouns, you will be using your markers and your ruler and drawings, etc., and writing the most important thing that needs to be on the chart, not printing something. And because it's fine print, how big can you put it? Can you print it to actually put it up on the wall? When something is in a twinkle, etc. However, if you would get a chart paper and you use your marker and you write what is a noun and an example of a noun, it is bolder and more eye-catching to our ELA students. All right, so that is something that you have to think about. So if like us Jamaicans, when we are early childhood and Jamaicans who are early childhood and primary trained teachers, we learn how to write in charts. Big up all Josephites. We were taught how to write on charts. I remember going to college and yeah, so I'm writing on charts now again. Tarina, I made my home anchor chart. I also use a flip chart during some of the lessons too. The students can help. Yes, girl. Yep. Anchor chart back again. You know? Um, yes, Tarina, we start doing it too. And so I find myself making charts again using pictures. And yeah, the kids also can help because that's actually what they want to see. They want to see the children um, writing. Now, mind you, depending on the age of the kids, because when I tell my children to write with a marker, I can hardly see it. They scribble. They write very small. And even when, you're making a post or you give them something to write or to make, and you're looking, you can hardly recognize their handwriting. However, that's what they want to see. They love to see the students handwriting. It doesn't matter how it looks to you, as long as it's a children's work, it is it is okay. So that's not an issue. So using those things is that's another thing. So not just you writing or printing for your classroom, but as Tarina says, um using things like the flip chart, as she mentioned. When you use a flip chart and you're writing as you're teaching, and you just literally just rip it off and stick it up on your wall, because for us we have different boards for different subjects. So it's like a little corner. So you have your labeled um, headlines, or what do you call it again, from the twinkle when we print our things from our twinkle. I just said it and I can't remember the name. But when you print those and you have your headings, your science board, your English board, etc., then whatever you do with the students, you literally just go, they put their work and you put it on it, because that's definitely a must. Not the classroom is not yours, but it belongs to you and the children. So having their banners, thank you, Tarina, having their things displayed in the class is definitely a must. What other classroom challenges you have there? Indiscipline has gotten worse here in Jamaica, girl. I can tell you. For the kids over here, it's mostly talking. I guess because I teach the younger children, it's mostly this. That you just want them, they just can't keep quiet. And they love to get up and they want to go to the bathroom, and they will complain, miss, she say for me this, or she'll, they complain because they are not um they 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 will tell you when something is wrong. So they'll come to you saying that somebody say something bad to them, or probably make a little mark in their book. Miss, he do this in my book, miss, he do this, miss, he did this. So those are the little things. But when it comes on to indiscipline in terms of fighting and those things for the younger kids, no, you don't really get that. Like I haven't had it. Nah, no. For secondary, no, they don't really have those type of things here in regards to those things. I'm not saying it's perfect and that you won't have challenges. Definitely you do, but it's just different. And you are going to have instances where you're like, oh my God, this is just, you have those days. But it's nothing that you can't manage. And all the schools have their different rules and regulation in terms of how to deal with discipline. For younger kids, Class Dojo works big time. Telling them that you're going to send them a message on those are the same challenges I have. Yeah, girl. When I teach the younger kids, those are the little things that they complain about more than anything. But Class Dojo is really helpful. And the Class Dojo is something that I think all the schools here uses Class Dojo. And we use different incentives too. Giving them little stars and stuff. They like get little stars, smiley faces on their hands. And as I said, we deal with the younger kids, so different things are done for different age group of children. Um, for Class Dojo, it goes mostly KG to grade 6, and I think you probably have some middle school that uses Class Dojo. I'm not sure, but I know for primary and KG sections they do use it, and the children, the moment that is on the board, and if they are getting too rowdy and they hear dung, that means it's a negative point on somebody's name, or you put it up on the screen and they look up and you just click and you say Simone, and everybody looks up and you just click negative. It's a point system that we use. You add your student's name to this app. Your school is normally registered. You have your class, and it is used for many, many different purposes. We use it as one of our biggest classroom management we use it for that, one of the most things. We use it also to communicate with the parents. That's where we send out our like anything, your weekly news. You can send homework. You can attach anything to that app. um, um, Whatever you want to contact the parents in, anything, like literally every single thing that you can think of can be put in Class Dojo and notify the parents. You have some parents who check it frequently, so they'll know when the students have lost points, when they have gained points, and they also speak to them at home with it. Because I have parents that said, "Miss, you didn't give my child any Class Dojo points. Why, Miss?" and stuff like that. So it is something that they really look forward to. Um, Also, you have other things. You have teachers. You have teachers that put up, like for the bigger kids, you have teachers that put up charts with smiley faces. Those faces, angry, like red smiley face, green, not smiley, the smiley face with the different levels of like frustration, etc. And so you start them off, you put their names there and you stick them. And if the child is getting very rowdy and losing points, not behaving, you take them all the way to maybe they stay at the bottom, or green would be they're getting, the different color codes, and you'll move them up. They're meant a behavior chart. Thanks, Karina. Behavior. There are so many different styles of behavioral charts that you can find online, and you can literally just make it to suit your own students. What is the classroom size? We are still overwhelmed with 40 to 1 teacher ratio. Lord of mercy. That will never happen over here. 40. Yeah, 40, no. Currently, I have 15 students in my class. Last year, I had 24. 24, but it varies from school to school. You have some schools here that are big, like the charter schools have big classes, but they do not exceed 30. There's no class over here that exceeds 30. So you will basically only find 30. Well, I wouldn't say only, because I have friends that teach in big schools like the charter ones that I'm saying, and they have up to 30 max in their class, 28, 29, 30. Um, so see, Tarina says she has 30 kids in her class. They will not go above 30. Because if you are at a school and there is 30, and say, for example, there's only 30 children in a grade, they will have one grade or one class for that grade. Whenever the number, if the number should goes up and they get two more students, they will split that grade and have two classes. So you will have 16-16 or 16-15, right? But they will not, I don't know, they don't go above 30, to be honest with you. So you will definitely get smaller size class rooms, class size over here. 40 is a no-no. And for parents who are paying their money to send their children to school, 40 is definitely, not something that anybody would really like. And the class sizes are pretty big. Your students, normally you're expected to have your students placed in groups. Now, mind you, based on your testing, because we do different types of tests, and based on your testing, you might have a child that performs really well in English, or and don't do so well in math, or performs extremely well in math but don't do so well in English. So sometimes you can switch up. You can have one set of group for English, and then when you're ready for your math class, they get up and they move to their specific group again for math. If you so desire, it's not compulsory, but it is something that you can do, especially when you have observation. Yeah. um things like those, you actually will do in your classroom. And as I said before, always remember your students work, and they're literally even moving from us doing. We used to love print. Lord God, it's so easy to print worksheets, because every single topic that you're teaching, you can find several worksheets online, differentiated worksheets online, for like every level of students that are in your class. And no, sad to say, but they are wanting us to move away from the worksheets, and actually have the students writing in their books. No, for that, to be honest with you, there's a you can manipulate that, because you can still do the worksheet, but what you would do is, put the worksheet on your screen, and have them sit and write it in their book, or you print it if they're in a group, and you put it down in front of them, and they can work in their group, or do their, write while they're there. And instead of actually, for math, it's easier, because you can literally arrange your slides with three, and it's not about quantity, it's about quality. So they're not expecting you to do, you're doing addition, and you're giving the kids 20 questions to complete. If it's two, and they do it and they understand it, it's perfect. 5, etc. They don't need to be doing 20 questions to show that they understand that, to show their understanding of the topic or the content that you're teaching. Classroom right now, the workload is beyond overwhelming. And these sets of students are not interested in learning. What do I do now? Hey guys, it's Arena saying blessings to everyone on the live. If you haven't subscribed to hers yet, you know she also has her channel. Um, Chantel, I know that it can be daunting, when it comes down to workload. And trust me, you're gonna have it over here too. It's not that like it's not like it's not. You're gonna have it over here because we have so many different activities. Sometimes, you get emails left, right, and center, and like next week we have reading week at school where it's you're you have to prepare yourself to do dress up day. You have to do makeup book day. You have to do reading and competition, and you know you have to prepare yourself for those things. And a lot of times, so it just depending on the type of student, sometimes depending on the students that you have, some tasks are easy to accomplish, and others it takes you way longer, and it's more tedious for you to get a simple task done. So remember now, you can have a small classroom and you still have a lot of work to do because of the dynamics or the type of children that you have in your classroom. Some schools stream children. You know what streaming is if you're an educator. Some schools don't. So, and that now, you will have your classroom with you definitely, if your classroom is not streamed, you will have a lot of differentiation to be, you have to do a lot of differentiation because, of course, you're going to have students that are performing above your grade level, and you will have those that are performing below your grade level. Hence, you got to have different you have to have a variety of work for them, and your teaching style also have to be varied. So varied in sense of, differentiation comes in different way. You can differentiate your delivery of your lesson, as in you use different mediums to teach the same topic, whether it's a video, you singing a song, you're doing a skit, you're having them, you know cutting, pasting, well, writing. There are various ways um, to get a lesson across. And then again, you also, when you're giving them their assessment for learning, you also have to differentiate it based on the levels of the students in your classroom. So normally, like a low level students, you would, give them something to maybe draw, cut and paste, depending on what you're teaching. And your middle probably to write something, fill in the blank. Your higher level ones, um, they probably can do a research, or they can write a paragraph um, about something. Um, yeah, or just do a whole, you write the question, that it is not something that it is the answer is just right there in front of them. It takes a little bit of thinking for them to come up with the answer. So they have to literally sit down and ponder and think about what you taught them, and go ahead and put it together nicely in order to show their understanding. uh, yep. And as I was saying before, in regards to the classroom and the different subjects, and you putting out your things in the classroom. Okay, Tarina, bye, dear. God bless you. Have a good night. Sleep well. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Thanks for joining, dear. Take care. Um, if you're teaching the, or your KG to prime, which level are you at, Chantel? Are you secondary? Are you secondary? Um, are you a secondary teacher, primary, early childhood? What level are you working at, or in rather? No, some schools now have resource room, and when I say Oh, secondary education. Okay. Well, secondary education, 40 students is a lot. That's a big class for secondary. Secondary education classrooms over here are way smaller than that. So you're not even gonna have 30. 30 is for elementary and maybe middle school, maybe. But for a secondary education, your class sizes are, going to be smaller, and depending on the subject also that you're going to teach. I had friends that taught like subjects like physics, where those are special areas where they have class with maybe 6 kids in the class. Uh, and if you're an English teacher, I had a friend that taught, say, teaches English, and she was at an international school, but um, and she was teaching, she had classes that in 12th grade, I think there were like 8 boys, three. And as I said, it just depends. But yeah, secondary's classroom size is definitely smaller than us at the elementary level. Is May the correct time to come to Dubai to visit to get a job? May, May, May. Is May too late? May, June, July. No, but you can come in May. There's Spanish and English. Hold on, Chantel. You can come in May. However, to be honest with you, a lot of schools would have already employed teachers by May, and but they do, as I always say, they do employ throughout the entire year. But right now, where are we? February, ending February. Right now, as I said in the last time, this end of month, February, is when most schools have a deadline for teachers to indicate those teachers who like would have completed their contract. So if you get a contract for 3 years or 2 years and it is going to end this year, you know, even if you're staying at the school, it doesn't matter. You are going to get what we call a letter of intent, where you indicate whether you are going to return or you are going to resign. Now, if you are going to resign, then your job, you would indicate that no. So now is the time where most schools know that they need 3 English teacher, 2 primary, etc., etc. Because March full blown job hunting season during March and April. Recruitment is going to be up during those time because teachers' letter of intent is going to be at this present time, and so the schools will definitely know what's going on, and they will start. A lot of schools have already been putting out advertisements for different positions. It's ongoing year round. All right. But May is not like May is a bad time because you can get jobs in May. If that's a time that you have available to come here, why not come and try it out? And send drop off your applications personally. Sometimes it works. And see how it goes. And if you're here and you start sending out your applications, as a matter of fact, start sending them out before you get to UAE, so that when you come here, you can stop by some schools and you can see what is out there. You will. And you might be able to catch a few job fairs and can go in person to some job fairs. So you are able to see how that goes. Chantal, Spanish. Okay, Spanish and English at grade 8, 7 and 8. Okay. So as long as you see, the fact is, as long as you're a secondary trained teacher, um, they will place you in the grades, well, that is of your choice, or the grades that you have your most experience in. So like a grade 7 and 8 over here, if it's an American curriculum school, that's a middle school, because middle school is 6, 7 and 8. So yeah, and they do subject based during at that level. For Spanish, though, Spanish would I don't know of. I'm sure there are schools that teach Spanish or offer Spanish, but I am not sure about any. Um, some schools do French, and some schools might choose Spanish, but and some schools don't even choose those other extra language. Yeah, because my son's school does French. Our previous school that I was teaching at, they didn't have any other second language. It was just straight English. So, it varies from school to school. I'm not sure if anyone does Spanish, unless there is a Spanish speaking school in Abu Dhabi. I don't remember the name of the school. Yeah, but you're English, you teach English, so that's not an issue. Yes, love. Um, no, also, as I was in regards to the classroom, reading area um, is a must, especially at the lower level. Um, some schools, like my school, they have carpets. They so we put out carpets. We have sitting chairs. We have sponges. There are so many things that you can use to put in your classroom if you have the space to make your little area fun and appealing for your children, and using lots of games to enforce reading or to encourage reading. And even during your lessons, it's something that they like to see. And even the kids themselves really do enjoy games. While no problem, Chantel. Have a wonderful Friday, my dear. God bless. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for the support. Blessings to you, and I wish you all the best. Keep me posted. Um, yes, dear. So you're most welcome, Rabia. Um, there are so many different things that when it comes on to working here as an educator, there's a lot of faucets, there's a lot of areas, there's a lot of things that um you know it's you have to take into consideration. There's nothing that is set in stone. It's my probably one of my favorite lines to use, because like everything is so different and things change. One thing is constant in UAE is change. I'm telling you, change. Oftentimes, um, you might be using this strategy, this year, this program, this platform for a term, and the next term you are introduced to another one. You just start getting used to it, and then you're introduced to a new one. Or next year you're introduced to a new one. Trust me when I say it's constant. Change is constant over here, because there's always something new that comes up. There's always some new platforms, that are out there that some schools like, and they think that it will be more appealing to their to the school's dynamic or the children, so they'll want to go and try it to see how it works. So you always have to be. You're always learning. The kids are learning and you are learning, because there's always something new for you to do and basically get excited about or to try in the classroom. And it's either you like it or not, but if it's implemented, they're implementing it in your school, you got to use it because it's there for you to use. And one thing you will never be short of over here are resources. You will never be short of resources for your children, for yourself. The schools will give you devices for to use. You have some schools that give teachers iPad, some schools that give teachers laptop, and that is what you use. You have your boards, your smart boards in your classroom. You have whiteboards, you have display boards, you're printing, you print, especially when you have inspection or observation. You get any amount of materials that you want to please them, to make sure your students are comfortable and they're learning. You get, trust me, you get them. You get small whiteboards for the kids. You get whiteboard markers for the kids to use. You get my school, oh my word, when I say we have resources for children in the math department and the English, a lot. And the thing is with these schools, they have and they purchase and put on what they have already. Yes, so there's always a lot. There's always a lot. I'm a primary teacher for Cambridge curriculum. Oh, you're Cambridge. So are you only applying to Cambridge schools? um, British curriculum schools, or you've tried applying American curriculum schools too? Girl, Antoinette, I know what you mean. Definitely. I trust me. I don't know, with all the things that we are used to here in terms of getting stuff, for a classroom. I don't know if I could manage like teaching back in it would be just so weird not having things at your disposal, and I can tell you that you don't have to worry about leaving one school and taking your resources to go to the next school. You don't. And it's like, as a person, like consciously also, you always try to put down things. I remember when I was moving from a lane to the city, I pack boxes because even your stuff, for if you print things, some schools you can take them. And it's like you can say these belong to me. You can pack them up and you can leave them at the school, because at the end of the school year you have to strip your classroom and leave it bare, because sometimes you might go back to that room or you might be going to another room. So you got to strip your classroom and you go back to a blank slate in August and you start all over again. So, we laminate a lot of things so we can reuse. Because, sometimes you just, the wastage, you don't want to waste, the printing, you try to be friendly, paper, green friendly. And so we do a lot of laminating for banners, and there are certain charts that you will definitely laminate instead of doing them over and over. So you have things that you can always keep um, on a yearly basis. That is just a student's work would tend to change. And sometimes when you remove some things, it might be destroyed and you do it over. But resources, girl, it's top notch. I can tell you, reading books, all different levels, reading books. Oh my word. Ooh, it's a lot. Mind you, though, I guess probably some schools have more than some. But if you're in a school that has them, oh, it's like, wow. When you look, to be honest with you, like the other day, Antoinette, I went in, this is just talking, I went into a room and another Jamaica teacher and I and a Filipino lady. We were talking and we was like, coming from countries that we don't have so many resources, and when you see all of that and you're like, wow, we wish we could get a little of these just to take home and donate to one school, because when you see it and it's a lot. And as I'm saying, it's like every year more and more is packed on it, and it's sometimes they never use. And you go into one room that is closed and you say, things pile up and you go into another room and you see some more things and you're like, wow. And you're like, oh wow, there if you could only get some of these to take home or to donate, and it's yeah. But they do. You have organizations that some schools will donate things to, and they will send them to other, countries that are more, less fortunate, and provide resources for some other children in other places. It does happen. Yeah, girl. Yeah, don't worry. So, how is your application going, Antoinette? Have you? How is it going? Is it like, are you in a place where you're feeling despondent, or are you in a place where you are positive? Because of the feedback that you're getting. How is it for you? Because I know everybody is different. Um, as I said, there sometimes you have persons that apply and they get jobs immediately, and others it takes them several applications before they actually get through to one. Especially now, I realize that using agency is better. True, true. Um, you have a point. Um, the agencies, if you get in contact with a good agency, because what they normally do is they will send as long as you send your CV to them, they will always update you. They'll send you schools that are have vacancies, and they'll ask you, like they would say, ABC International School is here is, can you look at this? Are you interested in applying for this job, etc. That's a good thing about using agencies. They will always keep you updated and informed about vacancies when they come along. And and they'll bargain for you too. You have some agencies that will, put you out there, and they stay by you every step of the way until you get something, which is, recruiters. They're really nice. I came here through a recruiter. Um, and sometimes, and I didn't have any problems in regards to getting my job here. As I always, I indicated my story before that one of my coworkers had gotten a job because I was thinking of going to US, but I didn't like the tediousness of um, the recruiting for US schools in Jamaica. I don't know if it has changed now, but in order to get on the then VIF program, you had to go to Montego Bay to do application. Um, oh, really, Antoinette? Thank you, dear. Thank you for watching. Always leave a comment and like here. Always leave a comment and like. Oh, and guys, please give a thumbs up to this live video, please. Um, so when I started my application, a friend of mine, a coworker, she got a job in Qatar. And I actually didn't even know that she was looking towards the Middle East. But she got a job. And then what she did was, thank you, Antoinette, God bless. And what she did was, so, she got the job, and then she said, Simone, here is a recruiter. They're looking for teachers. Just send him. She said, I got a job in Qatar. She said, just send him your CV and tell him that XY recommended you. And lo and behold, I don't even remember how long it took him, but maybe a week or so after that, I heard from him saying, here's a school. It's in Ali in Abu Dhabi, and he's where was it? Sorry, my TV just came on. So I guess I paused it too long. So and I applied, and he responded to me, and I told him yes, I was interested, and he sent my CV to them, and then the next message I got back from him, which was very quick, and that was in June, like the end of June, yes, that was like the end of June. And so that time, the schools were literally desperate for somebody, because school begins in at the end of August. So they wanted to get everything done, and there's a time too when because of over here. Remember, these schools, they book your flight. When you send them your documents, they have to get you attested, and by their government to say that they approve for you to teach in the country, etc. So there's a process that you have to go through in order. So that is why that's the reason why they always maybe recruit quickly, recruit so early. However, if it's a case where it's a demand, and the school, you have times when school needs somebody like next week, and they might contact you, and they like, how soon can you get here? Can you get here within 2 weeks? And they get their papers, get you sorted out, and you're like, it happens. It does happen. Trust me. I've known instances where persons are literally get something today, and within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or they might tell them, I'm sorry, but can you please give me a month? And they will be like, okay. And they give them a month, and then they get here. Especially during these times, January, February, when school has already started. And if something happens and a teacher leaves, and then the need for a teacher is urgent, so there is no time to waste. If they um, do an interview and they give you a job offer and they want you know, they're gonna speed up the process in you getting your getting here. So as for me, it went very quickly. I did the interview, and what, about 12 or 1 a.m. or something like that, Jamaica time. And when I woke up in the morning, there was an offer letter in my email, and it's given me 3 days. They always give you 3 days to respond, to accept or not. And yeah, and here I am. So it wasn't it, and then from then, though, that agent, he we literally just start sending other persons, and he made us make in contact with, and then we get in contact with other Jamaicans, and we just all came up. At that time it was two of us that he recruited, and then one after that, and then another one. Yeah, so using a recruiter is very good. Always try to get them. And but I do know persons that went. I know this Jamaican girl that she got her job just by going on a school website, and it was straight from Jamaica, and she applied straight to the school's website, and they contacted her, and she came here. So sometimes you can never know. You can just do all the different avenues just to not put your egg in one basket. Use a recruiter and still apply straight, or direct to the schools. But those are how it basically goes in regards to the teaching over here, or getting over here. Now, the teaching and learning environment is, it's nice. You, as I said before, you have resources at your disposal. Um, in each subject. If you're teaching at the elementary level or the KG level, up to grade two, you'll have a personal TA in your class. Grade three to grade five, you probably share. You'll have TAs, but they're shared. You probably have one to three, one TA for three classes or one TA for two classes. But most schools they'll have a TA, personal TA for KG, all KG kids. Teachers have their own TA for their class, and also grades one and grade two. Also, if they do inclusion over here. So if you have students in your class that are deemed um, students of specialized, special needs children. Some of them have their own individual teacher with them, depending on the severity of their case. They will have a shadow teacher in the classroom, or you have teachers that come in at different sessions and help you with them. But as I said, that you'll have a shadow teacher if it's a severe case of whatever disability that that child might have. So there's always somebody in your class or in your school, though, to provide some assistance to you. And to be frank with you, the teachers here also, they are, when you go to a school, especially, the teachers, you can count on them, especially the ones in your grade. You normally get very acquainted with them and they help you. And when you're new to a school, don't worry, you are going to get help. You don't have to think that you're going to be alone, and even your coordinator and the subject leads, they will always help you. And they'll send persons to you, tell you anything that you want. Don't be afraid to ask, and you will definitely get all the assistance that you need to start until you're able to manage on your own. So you don't have to worry. You don't have to think that, it's always starting something new might be daunting at first, but trust me, the moment you get here, you are going to have a very one thing with these people over here, they're very supportive. I can tell you that, they are understanding, they're supportive, and you will have somebody to help you and guide you into settling in until you're able to manage on your own. So you don't have to worry about those little things, all right? Um, I don't know. Are there any other questions that anybody would like to ask about? It's what 1 hour now since I've been on here. Um, so I think I've covered, most of the questions that anybody uh, wanted me to answer. I will just highlight again that salary. I can't really tell you how much a salary is because salary, there are many factors that they use to determine the salary that you get. Years of experience is the main one, and your qualification is number two. And sometimes, too, your passport is a factor. Your passport is a factor, whether you're a Westerner or an Easterner. I will say Westerner because I'm Jamaican and I'm considered a Westerner. So, I will be in that range, different range from someone who is in an Eastern country. The salary would be totally different. You're most welcome, Antoinette. Yeah, girl, you don't have to worry. And we also, and the thing is, too, even when you get here, apart from your school community, like I'm one of those persons, Tarina is one of those persons that, you can always reach out to, and we will assist as best as possible, put you in different groups of other teachers, Jamaican teachers. I myself, I'm a part of the Jamaica Middle East diaspora, where I'm a committee member. So You know, I know I do know a few people, and so when it comes on to a community of Jamaicans or West Indians, um, I can, get you contact with a few or get you in a group, a social group where you can mix and mingle with people and feel comfortable. Um, so yes, um, so those little things, and it's Friday, and it's the end of the month. It's the end of February. 2 months. Can you believe it? 2 months have already finished in January in 2023. So there's a whole committee. What do you mean by committee? Yeah, we have a diaspora group over here, child. Jamaica Middle East Diaspora. Yes, we're called JMED. And where we have, it's a diaspora group for all um, Jamaicans, whether we are living in UAE or persons who live in Oman, Qatar, the whole Middle East, but the majority of the people that are in the group um, are who live in UAE. They are the largest number, and yes, we do have to have a committee because it's a large group, and the committee, you don't know, you have to have leaders of a group. We do the planning and all of them look a ting there and keep the local social group active and alive. Yeah, so um yes, all of the things like that. And it's a very nice committee to be a part of. Since COVID, we haven't gotten together, but we do things online. And as we have a whole group, WhatsApp group, where, people social chat. And the moment you get here, you just make contact and you can get in the group and all of that. Um, Hi, Sim. I enjoy watching your videos. I'm a special education teacher with an interest in teaching in UAE. What's the name of the agency you use to get your job? Hi, Karen. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. And don't forget, when you watch, please like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Um, um, and leave a comment. My recruiting agency is see by here, pull it out. Look at it. It just look at it. It just falling. Everything just it's a mess. Oi, sorry. I'm just seeing it just going down in the video. Um my group that the agency that I got through here, it's called Red Teachers, Red Teaching Recruitment. What is the red for again? I don't remember, but I think I've posted it on some old videos. I saw them the other day on LinkedIn. My recruiter, there was this guy named Ryan, but was he O'Neill? Not O'Neill. I don't remember his name. But there's a new guy there now that's around. I don't remember his name, but I'll soon tell you. But they are on LinkedIn. And the other day, couple of weeks or months ago, I saw them. I think they were saying that they were going to South Africa to do South Africa. South Africa to do interviews for jobs over here, but I'm not sure. After probably Brian. I think it was Brian who was my recruiter. Um, I'm not sure if they still do recruitment from Jamaica, but there was this other recruiting agency that was very active, and it seemed as if I don't know what has happened to them. And I know many Jamaican teachers that came over here with them, but they have gone south. No, I don't know. Maybe they'll come back up, but red. It's R. Oh, you commented on something again. It's coming off the computer. It's It's RED recruitment, RED teachers dot com, redteachers.com. I'll put it in the comment when post comment. Let me try something. Let me see if it will go. I should have it probably. I'd have to probably find it. Um, and and redteachers.com. I'm using a new phone now, so it's sometimes it even give me. I don't have the stuff that I had in my old phone on it. I'm gonna find it though, the link, because I do have their link, and I'd have to send it. I would have to find it, and I can add it add it to the stream, the video in the chat. Recruitment for education. See, you find them internet. Yeah, red. It's red that they're called. Yeah, it's RED red. Recruitment for education.com. Red teachers. Thank you so much, Antoinette. Have you contacted them, Antoinette? Have you made contact with them or so? Well, that's the one that I use to come here. I haven't heard no, and actually a lot of people don't know about them because I don't know if they like started and they stopped. But I haven't met anyone that apart from us that I know that came here with them in 2015. I don't know of anybody else. Okay, great. I don't know of anybody else who have come who came here from Jamaica through them, but I know that they're still active because I've seen them um, on on um on LinkedIn, so I know that they're still active. And I went on their site to check out before I posted them on some of my YouTube videos. I add my old set of videos. I used to add recruiting agencies down there. Now the one that I'm currently talking about is direct teachers. Now direct teachers, it was very popular within the last, I would say, maybe 4 years, the last 3 years, and it was one of the most popular recruiting agencies that were employing Jamaicans straight out of Jamaica. They got an influx of teachers. That agency, believe you me, um, and but I don't know. It seems as if their site is down. I'm not sure what is going on with them. Sometimes things change, things happen, and people are doing things differently. I really don't know, but I've checked on them and they are not. And plus two, because I sign up with them, I and if I when I'm looking job, I normally use them as an agency, and they normally send me right through. They will be right through the year. They will be sending me job recruitment and asking me if I'm interested. And but I've seen that for the over a year now, maybe 2 years, they have become silent, and I went on their website and they're no longer active. So it seems as if something is going down there, so I'm not sure, but they were very good. But yeah, check out Red Teachers Recruitment for Education. Thank you so much, Antoinette. That's the one I came here through back in 2015. And yeah, and you can, well, I'm sure the persons that are there are probably different to know, but I am sure Neil, not Brian, Neil, the guy who got me through, and he's a big man. And most of those recruiting agencies, they are in England. So don't worry about it. Most of them are some British based, and their phone numbers are 444. So they're in England, and they do recruitment for over here. Um, Neil, his name is Antoinette. You can write it down and message him and tell him that somebody that recruited you. His name is Neil Beitel, Neil Beytell. If my memory serves me right, Beitel. I don't know how he pronounced his name. Um, but he was a person. He was responsible for my recruiting, and I met him in person because he had came to our school. I think in 2016, or yeah, when I was in the school in that school, and so we were told that hey, your recruiter is here, and yeah, we were able to we got to meet him. So yeah. So guys, for all of you who are still job hunting, may the grace of our Lord and Savior blow and breathe upon you and all your applications, you know, and so that you can get that desired job and, your wishes, your dreams, your aspirations can start, being fulfilled. Because I know some of us, we want that positive change. And I know that being in Jamaica is daunting and overseas is the way to go because there are so many things that are going on. The money, a little bit. If you work with the government, it's sure, but a little bit, and it's hand to mouth. And, when you work over here, it's the same. Some schools, it's pretty much the same thing that you'll get in the US, depending on the school. However, the difference is the monthly expenses. The difference is you are not over here, you get flight and you get accommodation, allowance or full. So you don't have those expenses that you would have in the US or the UK or Canada. You also, you don't have the taxes, the state tax, the property tax, the government tax, and those things that are, being drawn out of your salary, insurance, and like all those things are given by your school. It's a must that your school has to provide you with insurance policy, and that insurance policy, if you're sick, you got a doctor, and they cover you 80%. 80% of your insurance, your medical, is covered by your school. So when you go to the doctor, you just pay 50 dirhams. 50 dirhams is what? I don't know. Let's see. How much Jamaican dollar that's? But that's even know. I don't remember. But yeah, and the medication might just cost you a little 10 dirham or 12 dirham or less because it is covered. Yeah. So, those little things you don't have to worry about. Um, if you're doing surgeries, it is covered. It is covered. Your hospital, it's covered. If you're pregnant, then look at somebody, it's covered by your insurance. And you're doing a surgery. As long as it's not a cosmetic surgery now. If it's cosmetic, you gotta fork that money out of your pocket. But as long as it's a health risk surgery, it is as long as it's a health risk surgery, it is covered by the insurance. And so you'll be fine. And the healthcare over here is really, really good. The facilities are awesome. I find myself going in hospitals when I do go. I don't normally go, but when I do go and I look around me, and I'm like, oh my word, these hospitals, it's like you can eat off the ground. You go in the toilet. I swear to you, the hospitals, look like some hotels over here. Nice, clean, pristine. The chairs, the It's just something to be admired, especially when you come from a third world country. It's something that you really love, admire, and respect about here. And if you are even admitted to the hospital and you go into the hospital, you're in a room by yourself. You're not sitting in a long hallway with 100 people. You're in a room with your own bathroom, your own bed, your everything is there. It's their healthcare facilities are remarkable. It's remarkable. It's remarkable. So, those are things that really encourage you, to come, and it also cause you to stay when you get here. It causes you to love the place and want to stay longer because those little perks. So, guys, um, what do we say, Jamaica? I'm gonna love you and leave you. Um, I will say thank you so much for joining. Thank you for all the support. Don't forget to share my channel with anyone that you know. Like, subscribe. Yes, Antoinette, girl. Antoinette, don't get me started. Yes, healthcare is top notch, like top notch, top notch. I'm telling you, the hospitals, they smell good, they clean. Hey, to be honest with you, when I was growing up, I wanted to either become a nurse or a teacher. And because of when I go to hospital, they never so clean and the smell and they look at something there, it turned me off. But if I grew up in this country, I would have want to go into healthcare because of how the places are set up. But not telling a lie. You know, think, it's all this hospital named Cleveland. I remember I visited one of a friend, and that was years ago when it just opened in Cleveland. If you're passing Cleveland Hospital right now, you see the hospital, you think it's a hotel. Even the driveway to go up there, and when you go at the reception area, I swear to you, these places are so nice and they have everything. The other day, I just said that I don't normally do this, and it's the first since I've been here. I've actually gone to the doctor, and I just decided to do a full checkup, like full checkup. And I did cholesterol. I went to the gyno. I went to the doctor, and we did cholesterol. I did ultrasound. I was just a full checkup, and it was covered like everything. I did not much draw like five different type of blood and everything, and it was covered. All I paid was 50 dirhams to see the doctor, and I think I had to pay an extra 30 for the mammogram. you know and that was because most of it is covered, and some things you have to pay a little bit, but as I said, 80% is covered, and everything, and even the medications. When I got the medications, I took my son to the doctor, and I paid like 12 dirhams, and I got about like 5 bottles of different medication, and it was a long list. And I told him, I don't want this, I don't want this. And yes, like really good health care, really good, really good healthcare service is over here. You won't have a problem with that. I've known persons that have done surgeries and have gotten a really good service. So that's definitely not an issue. If you have a problem and you come over here, here is the best place to get that removed. As I said, as long as it's not a cosmetic surgery, you can do the cosmetic surgery, but it's out of your own pocket. But as long as it's a medical, anything medical, any cysts or growth or they look at something there, or if you have some cancer, need treatment, or trust me, everything it will be covered, 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 covered. You have something by your eye and you want it to remove. You have, yeah, you might have. Sure. it will cover it. It will cover. Well, I'm not going to say all schools, because I you have some schools that have some insurance that is not that strong, like some. You have some school that have some top-notch insurance that will cover these stuff. And because I had a school, my previous school, no, the insurance wasn't. It covered some things, but not everything like that. Like the current one that I have covers more. I think that was just a basic insurance. Yeah, and then too depends on the school that you go to. Your kids will also be insured, so they are under the your company's plan. Some schools you might have to take it out, because I was at an international private school, and I had to, when I got my child here, I had to take out this because it's a must. In order for you to get your ID, you have to, and your visa done, you have to take out an insurance. And so I had to take it out for my child, so I pay for that myself. And it's a yearly pay. Yeah, you pay for it per year. Uh, yes, because they have different companies. Yes, because they have different insurance company. And you know, with insurance, you have like platinum and basic and yeah. So you might have a school that takes out a basic package, and you might have another school that will give you premium or whatever it is, but it's probably a little bit better. You have some insurance that will not cover like dentistry, and you will have some that does. So it just depending on the school again. Yeah. But you know as I said, you won't know that until you basically get a job offer, and in that offer letter, it will tell you what your benefits are. It will tell you whether you are getting insurance for yourself, or for you and your family, flight for yourself, for you and your family, the type of accommodation, etc. Because your package normally outlines everything that you're gonna get, and then you decide whether you want it or not by signing it and sending it back to the school. And mind you, it's not a end all thing where, and always negotiate. People always negotiate salary here. Um, it's better for you to negotiate and then say, I'm sorry, this is all that we have to pay you, than to just not to negotiate and get if it's even 500 more. Don't it? You better to negotiate and say, is it possible, with my years of experience and, my qualification, I would like to, you know, ask if it's possible for me, to get 1,000 more because of, you're a Westerner where you live, and maybe your flight is going to be more, and you have a large family, etc. There's nothing to ask. There's nothing wrong with asking, and it's either yes or no. And they're not gonna say, "Oh, because you're asking for more money, I'm not gonna hire you." No, they're just gonna respond to you and say, "Well, Simone, I'm sorry, but this is what we can give you at this time. After a year, it might increase," or they will offer you back and say, "Okay, it's okay. We can't give you the minimum addition we can put on it is 100 or 500 dirhams. It's still better than none." So there's there's nothing wrong with negotiating salary, unless you get it and you contact somebody from over here and you ask them, I get this offer and it is this. What do you think? Do you think it's sufficient, or do you think, or you work it out? And you say, boy, I will eat this. This is all right. That again too. So it just depends on you. Um, you can decide on negotiating or not. Let me not tell you that you should. It's your decision to make after you do your little calculation in your currency, the foreign exchange rate, all of that, and you'll know directly how much it is. And you know, depending on your dynamics, it might be something that you can work with and you don't have a problem. So that salary is fine and you don't need to negotiate. You just accept it. When I first get my salary, what? My first, my first, my first job offer. You know, Jamaica, you see them job offer the I ask the flight and you calculate it, you literally the only thing coming to your mind is this really true? Because it's no tax, you're getting flight, you're getting accommodation, you're getting everything, and you're just getting a salary, and you are coming from somewhere where insurance come out of it, this GCT, this tax, that the tax, and then you get one that it's not, it's all yours, and you calculate it and say, then I'm going home with all of this. You you you're you're gonna be happy, you know. And what I was getting back then, I would take that no, because I have my experience and I've garnered more qualification because I did my master's while I'm here. So as a new, I can tell a newbie that they can accept that to get in here, but for me, I wouldn't, you know. But I would not tell a newbie that you should not accept that. You understand? Yeah, because it's still better than the other one. Way better. So, guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you again. It's 9:30. I'm gonna drink some water and see if we can Netflix and I'm gonna watch a movie. Um, and then go to bed. So thank you guys for joining me. I will see you next time. If I'm not doing anything next week, Friday again, I probably can't come live, or I'll check out and see if I see any job postings over the weekend, and I might put it up. Uh, Sometimes I don't do the videos, and I might just post it as a picture. You might see me. Sometimes I just take a screenshot and I'll just do it as a post rather than a video. If I do videos, sometimes it takes. Um, I'll do a few and put it together. And then sometimes too, because everything YouTube copyright nowadays, I do a video the other day on just jobs and I see copyright claim on it because I put just a little music in there, tone, and it never used to copyright, and now it's copyright. And I'm like, oh, please. So sometimes, those little things, you're like, oh boy. So you're most welcome, Antoinette. Enough love, blessings to you, my love. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and all the best to you. And I know I'm going to see you in UAE before I left UAE. You're going to come here before I decide to leave. All right? I will see you. I know say you soon message me and tell me say you get through with one job. Right? Trust me for that one there. Keep trying. All right? So take care of yourself. Until next time, I will see you all. So bye now. Toodles. Masalama. We say masalama in Arabic. Masalama, Habibi, or Habibti. Habibti for female and Habibi for male. Masalama is goodbye. All right. Habibi is my love. Habibi, my love, but it refers to male, and Habibti, my love for me, females. Masalama, guys. Bye bye.